Today on the Disney Fantasy, we are having brunch at Remy. This is a first time for us. We have had dinner here, but we are really excited to try the brunch today. So whenever you first enter, they do a little presentation up in one of the front rooms and kind of go over the whole entire menu and what the experience is going to be like.
Well, welcome everybody, and my name is Arnaud. I'm the maître d' of Remy's restaurant. So is it all your first time with us?
Yes. For brunch.
For brunch, no.
Yes.
So do you all know this is a champagne brunch, so hopefully you all like champagne?
Yes.
Are you all okay with champagne? I mean, we can do non-alcoholic drink as well.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, it's good? So we're gonna, Mr. Robert's gonna give you the champagne, and then Raphael, our executive chef, will be with us to explain to you the menu that we're gonna have this afternoon. And we'll also have some ham to start the meal.
No.
Please feel free to use the table that's on the side as well.
Ah.
So I was starting for you.
I was busy with the rat, sorry.
Are they under your hat?
Yeah, no, I let it there because he has to deal with the rest of the cabbage. So. The difference is the way how they are feeded with, they grew up in a large acorn field, so for more than 3 years. So this acorn feeding gave them a kind of nutty flavor, and maybe you can feel it. Which is the main difference with the Parma ham or the French. So maybe Arnaud told you about our signature chef, not really.
And then you're seated at your table, and I literally freaked out a little bit because we were seated at the exact same table that we sat at when we had dinner here not even a year ago, so it was really exciting to be sat here. But this can be a champagne brunch, so they do start out with a little champagne toast, and then when you're seated, if you want to do champagne with your brunch, you can do that. There are two different options that you can do. You can do a champagne experience, or you can do like a champagne flight, which is 2-ounce pours of 5 champagnes, where the experience is 3 champagnes. So I decided to do the experience, so I'm gonna have 3 champagnes with my brunch today. They have brought out the bread already, and I'm just excited to get started.
Now, as we see on the label, Prestige, that's a reference to the way they have produced the champagne. They only use the first pressing, not the secondary pressing, blended together, so it has the more fruit forward, a bit more fragrant, more important, the crushed red berries notes very evident in this champagne. Hints of citrus as well. I'm thinking more of pink grapefruit as well.
Okay.
Cheers and bon appetit.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
First course, lobster and mango salad with at the bottom a little tartare of lobster flavored with vanilla aioli mayonnaise. You'll find as well pieces of lobster tail, fresh mango on the outside, and mango gel, as well as a touch of Belgium Imperial caviar on the top.
So our first course while we did the champagne toast was actually an Iberico ham, which was amazing. If you don't know, it kind of has a nutty flavor because they only feed the pigs acorns. Absolutely amazing. So our first official course sitting at the table was a lobster and mango salad. Amazing. Whenever I heard them saying mango, I was like, I think this might be a little bit too sweet. I don't know, we'll see, because lobster can kind of be sweet too. It was perfection. There was a little bit of caviar on top, which kind of made it a little bit salty, and the mango was not super sweet at all. It was just a perfect mango flavor with the lobster, and the texture was amazing with all those flavors. Like, basically 2 courses to start, and I don't want to leave.
Once you're seated, one of the things that they do serve here before anything else is sourdough bread with 3 different butters. This is the same thing that they do for dinner as well. You've got a seaweed, a regular butter, and then a paprika. And then they serve with like a little bowl of salt. And so you can spread the butter across and then add a little bit of salt to your bread. So pretty good way to start. And going off of what Taylor was saying with this first course, it's funny because it's an experience, and all the food that you try really needs to be tried together and not individually, because it all just blends, you know, it's all in sync. It has a little bit of like sweet, it has a little bit of salt, it has a little bit of richness, you know, acidity to it. So it all goes together so well. So if you're like, oh, I don't know, might not like this or that because of one particular ingredient, I kind of would overlook it and just try it, because you'd be surprised that everything blends so well together.
So the tuile is made with grapeseed oil, a little bit of flour and water, and they just cook it like a little pancake on the pan, and that gives this beautiful little tuile with little holes there. So the sauce is amazing. It is a Comté cheese sauce. Comté cheese is like a kind of Gruyere style cheese coming from east of France, and this one is aged for about 15 to 18 months, so full of flavor. Yes.
Oh my.
Bon appetit.
Our second course is the, I don't even know what course to call this. I guess technically it's the third course, is the braised short rib ravioli. So there was once a time we ate at the chef's table at Victoria and Albert's, and we were not allowed to film in there. However, we did have, we were able to take pictures, and on the list of best things I ever ate was this truffle ravioli that they had there. This is right up there with that. It is absolutely amazing. There's a little bit of black truffle, like gelée on the side. I mean, you can tell that the dough for the ravioli is homemade. The little tuile on top gives us this wonderful texture, and then it's like a goat cheese sauce on there. It is just absolutely amazing. I actually had to stop and do my little talking part first, so that way I could sit here and savor the rest of my ravioli after, because it is just so good. I could almost like drink the broth that comes with it because it's so good.
Grapes were used for this particular champagne, and it's also a singular vintage 2009, and that's good news. It is offered in the Riedel Riesling glass because we need a bit of extra space for the bouquet to open up, as it's less fizzy, but it's much more intense stone fruit, apple citrus character. Cheers and bon appetit!
Thank you.
And now we have the toothfish. Toothfish, which is seared in one of the sides, glazed on top with a Thai tomato sauce, which is made with cherry tomatoes, grapefruit, lime, champagne vinegar, and a little chili. It's everything served on a potato siphon, or a potato emulsion, let's say. And what we like you is to try always these two textures at the same time.
Okay, thank you. For our next course, we have had the toothfish. This is a very cold water fish, and it was served with a sea foam potato. Now, I typically don't like fish with potatoes. However, the way this potato was prepared, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It made them like light and fluffy, and not necessarily like a mashed potato. And like when I say light and fluffy, I mean really like light and fluffy, almost like a foam, like airy. All of the flavors together were amazing. There was a nice little bit of crust on top of the fish, and the fish was very light and delicate. Amazing. And I did get my next glass of champagne, which they serve in like a Riesling glass, because he said you have to let the bouquet open up, but I don't know that enough about wine, so that's why we have a sommelier to tell us all about it.
The toothfish dish for me so far was probably the one that I liked the least. Doesn't mean that it wasn't great or good. It's just texture-wise, it really wasn't there for me. Those light, airy, whipped, airy-ish potatoes, they're like a sea foam, basically, is the best way to describe them. And it just doesn't sit well with me in my palate. But the toothfish itself, excellent. Deep water fish. It's has a nice juiciness to it, so it's very good.
For our main course, we had the Wagyu and gnocchi, and it was absolutely amazing. So there was a row of tables that got seated all at the same time for like the little presentation things. We all had that together, and we were the last ones to get our plates cleared for the Wagyu and gnocchi, because I took my sweet time enjoying it, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So I said I was the problem, but you know, absolutely amazing. Was cooked medium rare, a little more on the rare side, but was so tender. Only a few little swipes of the knife and it went right through the beef. It was seasoned to perfection. They had a little bit of jus on the side that you kind of would run the beef through, and that gnocchi was so soft. With their gnocchi here, they don't use any flour. It's only potato. So it definitely has a more pronounced potato taste. But it was absolutely amazing with the yellow wine sauce. Another part of the meal that I will be dreaming about. Our final course was dessert, and we had the apple tart tatin, and it was amazing. It was like a shortbread crust and had the apple flavoring on top. It was served with a little side of ice cream, which the chef recommends that you put it on top and eat it all together, kind of let it melt out there. It was delicious. And I had a little bit of ice champagne to go with it. And they do serve it with some ice cubes in the glass, which keeps it nice and crisp. This was an amazing meal, and I mean, the views that go along with it just make it even better than it already is. So we do have one last little surprise they said coming, and Josh is getting another cup of coffee, and we'll be finishing off.
So finishing off our brunch here. After the dessert, they still bring out like a little surprise, so to speak. I don't know if this changes seasonally or what, but for today, we got little rum cakes, basically. So they're crunchy on the outside, nice and soft, moist on the inside, and they have like almost like a vanilla flavoring. So they're actually pretty good. I didn't really think that I was going to enjoy them, but they're good, and it's like kind of a nice coffee cake, so to speak. It's not a coffee cake, but it's a good like pairing with coffee. So it's good. And a really nice, I think, end to our meal here so far. A really nice ending to our meal here for Remy. As you know, I mean, it's a nice, quiet, kind of intimate place to come in and just relax. And if I had to pick between dinner and brunch, I would like to have the dinner menu that I had, the Americanized one, for brunch, because it's nice being able to like sit here and have the natural light come in and look out at the ocean. So, but all in all, you know, it's good. All right, so we just finished eating at Remy.
It was an amazing brunch. I thoroughly enjoyed the dinner whenever we ate there earlier this year, I guess, back in January. And this was amazing. And just like Josh said, I love that you can see out to the ocean during brunch, where at dinner it's, you know, you can see out at first and then it starts to get dark as you go through the courses. So it was really nice to be able to have a really nice view while we were up there.
Yeah. It's good. This is an additional cost, so keep that in mind. It was
$75 per person.
Okay.
And then the
wine pairing was $33 per person.
Yes. And that was amazing. Every course was perfection. That ravioli was my absolute favorite thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, that Wagyu beef and gnocchi was also amazing, but that ravioli, whatever it's called.
It was good.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Yeah. But let us know if you have ever had a Remy brunch here on the Disney Fantasy.